we've started with a real estate loan officer lender that's offering primarily these main words is what you're using to describe them. You're serving the United States, and we're going through the keyword research. And so we go into the keyword research to do that in Google Ads under tools, and then we would go and type in the keywords that we want to use, right? So the ones I got are fast closing lender and bridge loans to start. So I would plug those into the keywords and I would do get results. Now up here, we've got locations as the United States and then language is English. So that's what we want. Okay. And so if I scroll down here, it's going to actually give me the keyword research of how many people are searching for that month and how competitive it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to download those keywords. I'm going to put that into your simple kind of keyword analysis here. So it's going to be right here, and I'll just import that.
Okay.
And then import data. So that's pretty much like you can, now that you kind of, I've shown that to you and I'm recording it for you. I'll send you the video of it. It just, very simple. If you want to do any keyword research for any of your video ideas or your services, you can go and do that now. But so this is kind of where now that you have the data, you want to figure out which are the right ones to use, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and delete all this extra stuff. I don't need any of this. Really, all I care about, which is what I mentioned in my presentation today, is that you want to look at how many people are searching per month and what's the competition and how much is it going to cost you potentially to be at the top of search results, right? So what I normally do first is I want to look at the amount of searches because I want to make sure the keyword is enough, people actually searching for it, right? So I'm going to create a filter and I would just choose the ones that, are the higher ranking ones. If you're doing a nationwide campaign, I would generally say best practice is anything that's over 2,000 is enough, right? Because you think about there's like 300 million, 400 million people in the US, right? I want to be able to at least have maybe 2,000 searches from 400 million people at least. So I'm just going to go ahead and check all these.
Right.
And now we'll filter that. Okay. So now what I've got is I've got a list of your keywords that you use to describe. And now I've got, the higher ranking ones, right? So now I got a list of about 100 or so keywords. Next thing I'm going to do when I do a keyword analysis, I'm going to go look at the competition. So again, in our presentation, low was advertisers are not spending a lot of money. High, meaning these are going to convert to sales. So this would make sense probably for you. Just immediately that one stands out to me. If somebody's searching for a lender or something, might be searching for mortgage companies. I don't know if that's related to your services. Is that related to your services at all?
Well, mortgage companies are doing more like at Fannie, Freddie Mac, residential lending.
Okay.
And I'm doing harder money. So I'm doing from 6 to 12% interest rate, 2 weeks closing, that kind of stuff. Okay. And it's investment only.
Gotcha. So what would we call that? Investment loans?
Yeah, I guess, we could do that.
Okay. So
that's a good one.
Yeah.
I can't think of it too obvious, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, usually it's the simple stuff that actually converts the best. So let's just go through this list, right? So mortgage companies, you're saying that's not relevant. Mortgage broker near me, you're not a mortgage broker.
Right.
Hard money loans, there you go, boom.
That's it. Yes, that's a good one.
So it's high competition, meaning people are making sales from this, and you're looking at spending maybe $4 on the low end to get a lead in the door. So hard money loans looks good. Let's just see if there's any more private lenders. That's probably relevant.
Yeah.
Loan lenders. That's probably relevant. And so you can see I'm highlighting all the ones in green because we know these ones are going to convert to sales. So that's why I'm going through the ones that are you're online. We can bucket you in as an online lender. Best mortgage, bad credit lenders.
Right.
Would you consider yourself as a solution for people with bad credit?
No.
No.
Not right now. And I repaired. I've done all that when I was a residential lender. So it's just they're builders and they're people that know what they're doing.
Okay.
Just for right now,
non-loans. Best mortgage refinance, tree lender. Okay. So I've pretty much gotten all of the ones in high that have high search volume. And we know that they convert to sales. So what I'll do here now is I'll kind of do here it is, primary keywords. So what I'll do here is I'll kind of go now and create a list of all those ones that that we want to kind of choose for your ads, right? So these are like this is like the golden list or the green list, you want to call it. So I'm just going to go in, copy these for you. Okay, so all the high competition and high keywords are there. So that's a good place to start. So those are definitely, from doing this quick little simple analysis, these are all good words for you to target. So let's just make this simple, delete, and then make sure that we've got stuff at the top. Okay, and then insert one above. Boom. Okay, so this is a good start for a list of keywords. Now what I want to do is, since I've already done the high search volume and high competition, I want to kind of look at medium, because medium means they could convert to sales, but maybe they're going to need to talk to you on the phone, or you're going to need to follow up email or something like that. So I would kind of again, I already got the ones filtered by high search, but I'd look at the ones just in medium. So bridge loans, you already had mentioned that to me, so that's a good one. I started looking at some of the medium ones, so I think bridge lending would make sense. Hard money, bridge loans, right? Those are all medium. They have good search volume. And then I would just kind of go through the rest of these real quickly and see if there's anything else. SoFi refinance, I don't know what that is. Loan companies for bad credit. A plain green loan or plain green loan, lend up loan. Lenders near me, that might be relevant. Put that one in there.
All right.
And then hard money lenders near me, that's probably relevant.
That's a good one.
And then if there's any other ones, SBA, do you do SBA loans at all?
I do, yes.
Okay, so SBA lenders then would
that'd be a good one.
Okay, so this is already,
yes,
after this last one, this is a good list. You've already got 15 keywords. So best practice, right, is you always want to have 15 to 20 keywords. Based on this kind of simple analysis that I just did, this is where I would start. And these would be the keywords that I would, when you have your video ad ready, that I would run advertising. And I would look at these and I would see, which of these actually converts to conversions. So I would do another column here. And once you start running ads, I would start recording what the conversions are, like how many conversions do you get from those keywords? And then I would look at cost per conversion.
Okay.
That will give you, once you start running the ads, right? I can't give you this data right now because you haven't run the ads, but what Google is saying is, here's the range, but once you start running ads, you're going to be able to know, okay, I can get a hard money lender for, $8 in the US or something like that, right? And you want to see that these are actually generating enough conversions and that, the cost is what you're looking for. And really what you want to get to is you want to get all of the given keywords in a campaign to the point where it eventually drives 50 conversions. If you don't get 50 conversions from any of these keywords, then that's kind of letting you know too that either that keyword's not relevant, or there's not enough people searching for it, or it's not, driving leads or sales for you. So then you kind of pause it and you go and you do this again. And another way that you can do this, right? So this is just the basic Google Ads, keyword research, how I did it. You've already got a starting point. What I do next, after I've kind of bucketed like those different tabs, right? So I just did one for fast closing lender and bridge loans. You'd want to maybe take some of these other ones that we just discussed. So like, you know, real estate lender, real estate and bridge loans. Maybe we kind of, or we already got bridge loans. So we'll just do real estate. More is, let's just say we did lender investment loans. That was one we haven't done. Okay. So just as a review, like real quickly, you would take those keywords, copy them, go back to your keyword, go type those keywords in, and then, you know, go through the process again, get the results, get the data, export the data, and then filter it just like I showed you. So that's kind of how you start with basic keyword research. And those are really good campaigns to start because it's just focused on what people are searching for. The next thing to do after that would be to start to look at some of your competitors. So give me an example of, you know, a lender in your area or in the US that you look up to, or you're like, man, I really wish I could be them.
Let's do Builders Capital.
Builders Capital.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here's their website. Oh. Okay. So what I can do also outside of keyword research is I can go back to this, and instead of saying start with keywords, I can do start with a website. And so I can remove all of these keywords and go see if any of my competitors have run Google or YouTube ads in the past. And sure enough, Builders Capital has run Google ads, and these are the keywords that people have used to hit their website.
Oh, I see. And here you get the dollar amount because they've already done it. Is that right?
No, they're forecasting that again. So same thing again.
That's in the range.
Yeah, that's the range numbers. So same thing that you saw before, no different. So now I can go and, you know, add tabs to all of my different competitors, right? So you could go through, I'm not going to go through all your competitors right now, but just again for this. So data, turn off. Okay, file, import. And now I would go upload the Builders Capital keywords and do the same thing by, you know, filtering the data or, you know, seeing what's high competition or what they ranked for. So just clean this up. Let's just look at this very quickly. All right, so like not too, I guess they do have quite a bit of keywords they use. So roughly around like 400 plus words. So I'm just gonna filter it, and probably just like anything over 2,000 is good for a nationwide campaign. Okay, so now I really kind of know these are the golden keywords that people are hitting their website. So private money lending, right? We didn't see that in the other keyword research. So that's why it's good now to kind of use your competitors' websites. All right, so that's another one we can add to the list. Might see, you know, bridge loans is on there again. I don't know if we had that. I think we did. We had bridge lending and we had bridge loans. So
right above. Yep, bridge loans right there.
Yep. So, you know, I would maybe, you know, building a house loans, some of these other ones. Okay, so if I had very small data like that, I might just take a quick peek, turn off that filter, and then just look to see with the high competition, because we know those ones are sales converting, just see what those kind of look like, and see if we get any ideas there. So like, what about a fix and flip loan? Is that something that you think would be relevant?
Yes.
Okay, so that's got enough volume. It's high search traffic. That's a good keyword. It's relevant. What about Florida construction loans or California construction loans? Or
Florida would be good. Florida is good. A lot of lenders for that. California is a little harder, but.
What about lenders for construction loans? Is that relevant?
Yep, that's relevant.
Okay, there's a bunch of people searching for construction. So look at all these variations of constructions. So maybe that might be something where, you know, you test some of those, because the thought process there is, hey, maybe you're only going to get 70 people they're going to search every month, but if you make a sale, then you probably have paid for itself, right? So it's a matter of you kind of experimenting with these, but I always have people start with, the high amount of search, because then you're going to get enough people in the door, right?
Right.
So this is a good like basic list. You can see why this might take me 8 hours to do this now, because there's so many data as I can take and competitors, different keywords, and I can go through this process and keep making it better and better. But this is a good enough list for you to start with, right? So this is what I would recommend from this call that you start your ad campaigns with, is using these keywords to target for what people are searching. So now is kind of thinking about, okay, I know some of the keywords that I'm going to be using. How do I build some of these keywords into my video script, right? And so the video script, I have a template there for this, and I can send that to you. So let's just make sure you got all this stuff. So this is a simple YouTube ad analysis for lenders, US. And let's just share this with you so you have it. This is like, you can build off of this. I've kind of showed you how to do this now, so let's kind of talk about the script. So this was kind of the structure that I showed in the presentation, and so I'm going to just give this to you so you have this as a template. But it probably makes sense to take the next 15 to 20 minutes here to try to at least get you started with this script. Normally it takes me about an hour. So that's why I ask people, do you want to do the keyword or do you want to do the script? So I'm kind of doing both for you in this call. I'm kind of doing half keyword, half script in the hour. So looking at some of those keywords, right? And maybe it might even be good for you to just to have that list on your script so that you can, refer to that as, okay, this is what people are searching for. And I need to have these keywords somewhere in the script potentially. So let's say hard money lenders, best mortgage lenders. I mean, a lot of these you already kind of knew, but maybe that will kind of guide you. So for the script, right, it's thinking about, as I mentioned in my presentation today, is like, what are you going to hook them in and what is the viewer aiming to do? What's the benefit that they're doing? So you're obviously not a law firm. You are a lender. And so why don't you tell me in your own words, what would a viewer of a YouTube video be looking for, or what do they want from you if they see your video ad?
We're going to want, I don't know. I would think that if someone's Googling on YouTube would be about how to buy property through private money without much documentation. It's usually how that works.
Okay. And then what's the benefit that you bring? You told me, what was it? Short closures?
Yeah, short close. Yes. So basically for that, it would be, let's say that you wanted to make an offer on a house or like a fix and flip. You want to make an offer, and if there's two people coming in and someone else is coming in with a bank like Bank of America pre-approval, but you're coming in with I can close in 2 weeks, your offer will be accepted before a Bank of America pre-approval would be. Does that make sense?
Correct. Yeah, because they're like a big bank and it takes longer.
Correct.
So the way I'm writing this is the initial benefit you get working with me is for short closures in 2 weeks before other big banks like Bank of America, leave.
Do we want to mention a big bank like that, or
no?
I just don't want to.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, we don't have to call them out. So let's just say other big banks. We can be very general.
For regular banks,
like other big banks leave you waiting to potentially risk.
Oh, there you go.
Losing your dream property. And then, so why is this immediate benefit so important? Like, the reason they work with you is so that they know that they can get the property pretty much.
That's correct. And then once they can get the property, then they're able to do the rehab and get it back on the market faster. So they're going to be making their money back quickly.
Okay.
And that's where the benefit is. So that they make more money. They can do it faster, so they have free time.
And then let's say, so you can make more money, have more free time, and let's just say have less stress or uncertainty.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's probably the third one.
Yeah, I'm not in the real estate space, but yeah, it sounds good to me. Okay, so that's kind of like the aim, right? So this would be essentially where I would take this and just kind of like further down the road, and it's kind of in drafting your script, I would kind of flush this out a little bit more. And, you know, I would start like with that aim section to start with kind of like this is like, you know, did you know? And then, you know, and I would say something maybe about lenders, right? So like using some of those keywords that we said. So like I would go back and I would say, you know, did you know that hard money lenders can be a better solution than big banks to find your dream property?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's like the first 5 seconds. You're on camera. You do something kind of, you know, just it could be something cool where you're in front of a dream property there, or you know, you're in front of a big bank, and maybe there's a quick transition there of like a screenshot of you in front of a bank versus like a property, something that like, you know, quickly grabs their attention. You're asking a question there, right? So they're kind of like you've grabbed their attention, and then you're kind of saying
pain point, right? Or the interest in. That's your first, I think you said 30 seconds or something, right?
Right. So
or no, 6 seconds.
Yeah. So kind of looking at the script, right? It's the hook and then kind of the big, you know, promise or pain point is that first 30 seconds, right?
Right.
So it's kind of in the aim section of your script, like going back to it. Did you know that hard money lenders can be a better solution than big banks to find your dream property? And then I would maybe start with something like, you know, if you're looking to learn how to buy a property through private money without documentation, the initial benefit you get working with me is for short closures in 2 weeks before other big banks leave you waiting to potentially risk winning your dream property. So that's kind of like, this is like the first 5 to 30 seconds, like this section here of that script. Okay. So then the next section is looking at like difficulty. What is standing in the way of the viewer achieving their aim? Okay. So their aim was to learn how to buy a property through private money without much documentation. So what's standing in the way of them being able to do that?
Would probably be fear, lack of know-how, the possibilities.
Okay, so is there any way that you can look at that and how would they normally find the answer, or what if they've done this process before, right? They may have done it with somebody else besides you. So like, you know, why would it have not worked with somebody else, I guess is another thing to think about.
So basically, why me, right?
Right, like, yeah, why you versus all the other 100 lenders out there that exist?
Right. Well, for me, it'd be that I've have over almost 20 years, just shy of 20 years of experience in lending. Or yeah, 20 years. And so let's see, over 20 years experience in lending. I'm direct lenders, and I'm a direct lender. I don't know. I just have the experience. I know exactly what I'm doing.
I have 20 years in experience in direct lending, so that makes me know exactly what I'm doing. You could say that.
Yep.
And also have, let's maybe a network built up. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. The other thing that you can kind of do in this difficulty situation is you can try to personify yourself. And I don't have to necessarily get that out of you from today's call, but when you think of like personification, right? Like whatever you're selling, you know, like if it was a person. So like, you know, the example here is like Allstate, right? You've probably seen the Allstate commercials with the mayhem guy. They're pretty much saying like, you know, mayhem is the guy that's actually like mayhem, right? So that's why you want to buy their services. So if there's like something that you could correlate yourself, I'll just put here in a note as a character in a movie or a TV show, that will really kind of resonate and add kind of some more creativity to this section. If you can kind of think about that.
And like what about like a yes desk?
A yes desk?
Yeah.
How about, isn't there a movie called Yes Man or something? Heard of that movie?
I don't know.
No, Yes Desk? Yeah, so maybe personifying like who is somebody that says yes a lot, you know?
I'll have to think about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to think creatively on the call with you. I'm trying to think of like who would say yes. Yeah, I guess it's maybe like I would personify it almost as like a mom, you know, like the mom that's always there for their child, or they're very caring, or like you're almost like Mother Nature or something like that.
Oh, there you go.
Right? So that's kind of like a personification, right? Where you can kind of tie that in some ways so that your video actually is entertaining at that stage, right? So it's not just kind of you and a camera, you can kind of tie that in. So then understanding, if your viewer believes you understand exactly how they feel, they will trust you. So ask yourself, what does it feel like when you're not able to achieve your aim because of the difficulty? So, right, I had some examples of like people can't trust you, they're frustrated. So I guess the question here is looking at this difficulty, what does that make them feel?
What does it make them feel? Yeah.
They're frustrated, they're scared, they're stressed.
Stress, feel well, not defeated, because they have to try. A lot of times people don't try.
So maybe they feel hopeless, like they've kind of given up.
Yeah.
They need to be inspired, motivated.
Right. We could just move this into like a coaching call, like a YouTube channel.
Right. So this is kind of them understating.
They want to buy something, and I'm like, no, you feel like you're not worthy enough. I'll help you.
Right. Okay. So there's some stuff for there. Then it's credibility, right? So you kind of hit on some of that. You said 20 years of experience. Is there something else about like maybe the number of properties you've done, or you know, you have connections in certain areas that are hard to get?
I'll have to think about that. I do have like I have access to properties, and I am right now going through all the things that I've funded. So I should just do it and kind of, because I work for a big bank, so I try to keep things at a, well, not as full steam on private money is what's happened. So I'm working through my list.
Okay. Well, no worries there. So yeah, just think about things like that. I mean, if you just other things like you could call out your website. If you have a team, right? If you're not just a one person, or you've got something there. If you have any certifications or exams that you've taken, you know, things like that. That's credibility stuff. Or awards. Awards are also good, or testimonials.
Okay.
Then it's the action plan, right? So it's saying, what do you want your viewer to do, you know, in these steps? So like, you know, it's kind of like what I like to do with this is to break it down into like a 3-step type of plan. So it's really simple of exactly what they need to do after they watch the video. So if we were going to do this in 3 steps for you, the step is to, you know, click the link below to schedule a call. Or is that kind of what you want people to do? You want them to call you?
Yes.
And then, so we're going to say the call, what is that? How would you word that? As a free phone call consultation, free lender analysis? Like what would you call that?
Yeah, free consultation is good.
A free lender consultation call. We'll call it that for now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then in that call, like what would happen in that call?
Well, we'd go over their experience, if they have any property that's already available, that they're considering. Most people that are looking for private money, they already have a piece of property that they're considering.
So go over your experience with property to what?
Oh, to purchase.
To purchase. Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so you'd go over their experience with the property to purchase or whatever, and then from there, would you be sending them a proposal or some information, or what would be kind of the next step after an initial phone call?
Yeah, then I would send him over. I would send an email to send him over the next step, the application, and the basically a general term sheet.
And they need this information to understand how to get the best sale, or is that the main benefit of that, or?
Well, they'll need a general term because they're going to want to know what they're getting into. So it's like 65% loan to value.
Okay.
9%, they need to know that.
Okay, to understand the numbers, let's say that.
Okay.
Okay. So this is your 3-step kind of plan. So
Okay.
You're kind of saying after your credibility, you're kind of going back and, I've made it simple for you to be able to find the best solution for your lender needs into 3 simple steps. And then you kind of read those off. Click the link, go over the experience with your property purchase on the call, and then, get an application and general term sheet with all the information you need to understand the numbers after the call. Those are your steps. And then from the teach, is there anything that you feel as if you can teach them something, and it doesn't even have to be anything crazy, right? It could be something like, you talked about interest rates. Is it something like 6 to 12% interest rates are what you're getting people, or is there a trend right now that you might know?
It's going to be so it's 6 to 12% simple interest, which is what people don't understand. So when you tell someone it's 9% interest, they freak out because they look at a payment as if it's amortized for 30 years. But simple interest is much less. It's just interest.
Okay, so that's perfect, because I don't know what that is either. So that would be an easy thing for you to teach. What is simple interest? Simple interest is just the interest. And
like you take your loan amount and then you would times it by 9, you'll get a big number, then divide that by 12. That's your monthly payment.
Right. So simple interest is just the interest divided by your monthly payment, or divided by 12.
No, divided by interest. Like simple interest is just interest divided by 12. Yeah, you take your interest with your loan amount. So if
you'll know this section better than I am. I'm just trying to. This is good for me, because if I don't know what this is, then that should probably tell you that is a really good thing to teach people in a very 15-30 second matter.
Right.
So something around simple interest is what I would teach them. Simple interest is just like interest divided by 12. You should take your interest with your loan. I'm here to kind of debunk the myth about what a potential 9% interest rate means. Right.
Yeah, because like 12% people really freak out about that, but really that's only 1% a month.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's only a 12% annual if you keep it for a year. And most people are doing like fix and flips. They're only keeping them for 6 months, so that's 6% interest. But people don't look at it. They don't think about it like that. They freak out by the big numbers.
Okay. There you go. There's your teach. I'm here to debunk the
There you
myth
go.
about what a potential 9% interest rate means. Some people look at 6 to 12 simple interest and freak out by the big numbers. Simple interest is just the interest divided by 12 for your monthly payment. You should take your interest with your loan. Someone like me or something like that. Okay, so that's your teach. And then it's kind of like exiting, right? So it's kind of, click the link below to schedule your free, lender evaluation call.
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of just, what that's going to include again. So it's kind of taking, you'll gain a better understanding of what is needed for a good lender. With a great network of connections or a great network of properties sold under my belt. And then kind of exit is, I look forward to talking with you soon or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's your script, right? It's kind of like, this is that educate model that I had mentioned in the presentation: aim, difficulty, understand, credibility, action plan, and then kind of the teach and exit. And so what is then thereafter is kind of drafting that. And this is just kind of like what I did is I just copied section 1. This is step 2, is drafting your script. I just took those sections and pasted them in and kind of gave you, these little frameworks, right? So like, here's the problem for the difficulty. So I just go back to difficulty, like grab that and kind of like, work that out, right? Like kind of customize this and get it to where it's like you talking and not, like a framework, so, but here's the problem, standing in the way of fear, lack of knowledge, and understand possibilities, is the norm for most people. Okay, so then I kind of go in there, and then it's kind of like understand. So like you kind of get where this is going, and then step 3 of this is, once you have it drafted, then it's just write the script. So you just take those boxes. I'll just put this here as step 3 is to write the script fully out with step 2. Add some other kind of like power statements in here if you're looking for like, other ideas or kind of inspiration. Like some people use things like bonus or so you can, is something I've seen work really well. Like not just talking about the benefits, but it's like, how does like working with you enable them to be able to actually do things? And then kind of like, here's a basic kind of sales funnel approach, but a lot of that stuff I covered in today's presentation. So, and then I've got an example YouTube ad, the one that I showed in the presentation today. It's actually right here. So you can go see exactly what I did. As you can kind of see in the video that I showed today, it's like me in front of the camera. I have some small editing stuff. I actually shot some inside, some outside. And it's really kind of up for you at that stage. What I would say too, what will help you in this script, and let me just make sure you have this, is when you're writing out these kind of sections, maybe kind of jot down here below that, like, what type of background is going to be in that part of the video, or, what setting are you going to be in, or what props might you want to have in that setting. Like if I was looking at like this section, for example, 20 years of experience, maybe I would want to see something in the video that shows 20 years of experience, like either your LinkedIn maybe, or maybe I see you, with your resume, or maybe, you've got something published somewhere on your website or something, right? You could do a quick little just, screen share there real quickly to show that in the video. And then that kind of visually will match up with the copy of the script, right?
Okay. Yep.
So just kind of go through that, kind of brainstorm, like visually, like start with the written version of it, and then maybe kind of like think about what that might look like visually, and then shoot it. And then once you have some footage, you can go back and kind of change it and edit it with different visuals.
Okay.
So let's make sure you have this. Okay. Here's the script. So this isn't a fully fledged out script for you because we took some of the time for the keyword research, but I think you've got like, the foundation here to take it to where you want to take it.
Right.
Okay, so you've got your script and you've got your simple keyword analysis. So let's just make sure you've got that. So please find the following resources from our call. So number one is you've got a script framework. Make sure you've got that. And then the second thing you have is basic keyword research. And then the last thing I would say is you can use those things, get started, set up your account. So just as a reminder, you need to set up a Google Ads account, a YouTube channel, and a Google Analytics account. And once you have those three things, you can start putting up ads and doing keywords and stuff like that. What I would then also say, because you booked a call with me, you got the YouTube marketing course. So it's 32 YouTube training videos. Training videos on how to do YouTube marketing or YouTube ads. And that will really help you a lot. I think, it's not going to cost you any money to go watch those videos. And it's a lot of videos to watch. So I would, maybe do one a week or a couple a week. Don't stress yourself out about trying to learn all this stuff. I mean, it's taken me quite some time to develop this, 32 videos, but I think that's going to save you a lot of money and it's going to help educate you a lot on, what are the possibilities and the things you can do with YouTube.
Okay, cool. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So, I mean, really from my perspective, I think this is a good stopping point. I think there's plenty of good value in here. But you've still got 5 minutes. So I definitely want to respect your time. Are there any other things that you have questions about outside of this email or any other, things that you want to ask me about YouTube before I let you go? Go to your Google keyword research that I just did for you today and take those numbers, take the high end just to give yourself even a little bit of buffer and choose those keywords and say, okay, if I spent $500 based on these numbers that Google gave me, how many leads am I forecasting that I can get, right? And then I think you can work backwards from that. You can say, if I spend this much on YouTube and I get this many leads, how many leads do I think I can potentially close? And there's no science to that. It's a sales game.
Right.
But, I think you can work backwards that way. And then obviously if you're working with us, you're saving yourself all that time, right? You're not having to do
time is important.
Right. So making the videos in the keyword research, I would say are actually probably the most time intensive. So, on our end as a YouTube company, we spend 8 hours doing keyword research. So what I did for you in 30 minutes is normally 8 hours. And then we write a script normally about an hour or two, and we make a video roughly in about 8 to 10 hours. And it's been edited. It's got a professional voiceover. If we need footage from you, you can send me like an MP4 or something from your phone. That's perfectly fine. Or you could even hop on a Zoom call or something like this, and we could just record you, speaking in a video conference call or something like that. So that would be, I think, the benefit of going the package route with us is it's kind of like done for you service and it saves you a lot of time. But if you're skeptical or you're not sure, then that's why we offer that consultant option. What are you doing for lead generation right now? Like, what are you doing to get leads?
Right now it's LinkedIn.
Okay.
That's most of my business is coming from is LinkedIn. And I did a coaching thing with the high-end clients and changed my LinkedIn a little bit. And so I'm doing that and I'm doing well.
That's good. I mean, I think LinkedIn is a great place.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I don't do Facebook. It's a different clientele. They're not as professional. The LinkedIn is more, I'm getting brokered deals. Brokers are coming to me. Where Facebook, I'd probably get more direct with the borrower, but they're people that really don't have money. So you can't buy a private lending. You can't buy a loan or do a commercial property on fix and flip with 5% down. You
Right.
have to have some reserves. You have to have some money still in it because it's an asset-based lending.
Gotcha.
And my experiences on Facebook is not really the place for that kind of client. Not that Facebook is bad, it's just not where to get that a high-end client.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, I think LinkedIn is great, but I think YouTube could potentially be even better for you because it's, LinkedIn, it's like people are getting over flooded with messages now.
Right.
So think about it as like sometimes on LinkedIn, you might be chasing somebody or it's spammy versus Google is like it's in that moment they're trying to solve their problem. Right.
Right.
So I think
Yeah.
that the quality of the leads that you might get from YouTube potentially could be better than any of the other channels because it's focused around what they're searching for.
Yeah, no, totally. Like I'm pretty much in. I'm not sure that I want to do all the work, but it's good for me to know.
Well, at least I
But
gave you a glimpse, right? It's like,
yeah.
hopefully, at least I guess I want to ask you this. Do you feel like the call was valuable to you? Like you felt like it was worth it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm considering doing the 1,500 a month for a couple months, seeing how that works, and it would be
Mhm.
worth the investment to at least if it doesn't work, I can say I tried it, and that
Right.
that's not the platform for me to advertise. And it's there's all kinds of experimental advertising for lenders, and I definitely want to be different than everybody else. And
Yeah, well, I think if you do take that leap of faith with me, you have somebody that's been doing this for a while. I have a team. I'm very professional and like genuine person. So, you have my like full effort to get you the results. And then I would just say, long story short, too, for whatever you do, I would say for my company, I have closed sales that weren't even YouTube ads, like the one I showed at the beginning of my presentation today, that company video. That
right.
video made me sales without even running YouTube ads. So I think that should also just kind of tell you that having a couple videos in your, kind of tool belt as a salesman would be really beneficial for you to be able to send or email to people.
Totally. Yes.
Cameron, I really appreciate like you taking the time. And yeah, if you want to see a proposal to kind of close the call, I'm happy to at least type one up for you.
Yeah.
So you just have it if that's okay, and then you can just take the time you need to think about things.
Send it to me. I'm not. I think about things, but I want to move along with it. So yeah,
Mhm.
send it to me so I can look it over, digest it, and decide if it's cost effective for me.
Okay, sounds
So
good. Well,
yeah, yeah. So yeah, go ahead.
yeah, no, you're good. So I just wanted to say, yeah, thanks for your time, and yeah, we'll be in touch. I'll shoot you a follow-up email. Okay.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you for meeting with me.
All right. Bye. You take care.
You too. Bye bye.